It's Wolf, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a real life update. So, a lot of you are probably aware that there was a really big winter storm that kind of bulldozed through the US a couple of days ago. Most of you probably know that I live in the South, and the South got a lot of ice from this storm. And, well, yeah, I live in an area that got like buried in ice, and it's still like affecting a lot of stuff, and I just wanted to make a little update about that. So, long story short, on Saturday we got a ton of snow, and it was pretty normal snow, like kind of a big deal for where I live because we don't get that much snow, but I lived in a really cold place before, so like snow isn't a huge deal to me. But after that, we got what seemed like at least like 12 hours straight of freezing rain. Like it was just coming down constantly. And so literally everything is frozen. And all of the snow that was on the ground before has completely frozen over as well. So going outside, there's snow on the ground. Normally your feet kind of sink into the snow when you step on it. It is so frozen that I have multiple times walked on the snow and my feet haven't sank at all. There's like trees and stuff that have a ton of ice around them. There's power lines and everything have ice around them. My car and my family members' cars are all covered in ice. So there's just tons of ice everywhere. The thing with ice is that even a small amount of it can have a pretty major impact. Even a quarter inch or half an inch of it weighs a lot and can cause power lines to snap and tree branches to snap and stuff like that. And that's pretty much exactly what's happened in my area. So alongside the roads being really slippery because they're covered in ice has accumulated on a lot of other stuff and has caused power lines to go down, which has dropped electricity, or like entire utility poles are broken. And so then that's not just electricity, that's like internet and everything else like that. You've got trees that have fallen over, which have blocked roads, and sometimes trees fall over and then fall onto power lines, which also breaks power lines and stuff. So there's been a lot of that going on. And on top of that, it's been really cold, and it's supposed to be really cold for a couple days still. So I think over the next 3 or 4 days, it's supposed to maybe get above freezing for like a few hours, but probably not enough to actually really melt anything significantly. It's just caused a whole bunch of issues all over the place in the area that I live in. Like with electricity, for example, I have electricity at my house, luckily, but we did lose electricity for about 7 hours the other day. It was like on all night, and then the ice started, and it kind of went on and off for a few hours, and then went off for, like 7 hours straight. Luckily, we were able to prepare a little bit for this whole winter storm, but we weren't able to get anything that was like non-electric heat. Like our whole house kind of runs on electricity, so when the electricity's gone, nothing really works. But that's definitely an investment my mom and I are talking about making for in the future, is getting some sort of like propane heater or other thing, or like some sort of battery backup that we can use for stuff. But anyway, we were pretty much fine though, because the house stayed relatively warm even though the heat wasn't on. But I know like a lot of other people in my area do not have power still and have been without power for over 48 hours now. Like my grandpa, for example, he doesn't live super close to where I live, but he lives kind of even more rural than we do, and he's been without power for like over 2 days now. I think I haven't actually like heard if he has power yet again or not, but I'm pretty sure he still doesn't have power. And then alongside the issue of most of the houses here having electric heat and the power being out, meaning no heat, the roads are also so icy that it's kind of hard to get anywhere. So like in my grandpa's case, for example, like he could come to our house, of course, but he probably wouldn't really be able to easily get here because the roads are so icy. Also, we don't have internet right now, and this is, I think, the 3rd day that we haven't had internet, but I still have 5G on my phone, which is how I'm going to try to upload this video. I actually can't hotspot internet on my phone, which kind of sucks, because my phone, I think it's because my phone is an unlocked phone that I bought myself. I didn't buy it through my actual network, but like my mom has been using a hotspot on her phone to like do her work remotely and stuff. But I'm gonna try to download the YouTube app and then upload this video through that. So if you might have noticed that this video is only gonna be in like 720p, because I'm gonna try to keep it really small so that way it uploads easily. But anyway, yeah, so internet and cable has been down. Luckily, this is actually an area that I feel like my family is pretty prepared for, or at least I was pretty prepared for, because I have so many DVDs and movies and like video games and stuff that I actually almost haven't really noticed the internet being gone, especially since I can still check some stuff on my phone with 5G and like talk to my girlfriend and like anybody else that I need to. But outside of my household directly, everything is just like closed down. There's been a bunch of school districts that have closed for the entire week already, and there's been a lot of businesses and stuff that have been closed every day this week so far. Where I work has been closed for I think 4 days now. And that's another thing too. I don't really know what is going on with where I work, but I think there may have been damage to the building that I work in. I'm not entirely sure though, because nobody said that, but they've pretty much closed work where I work for like a couple days consistently, like really fastly. So I'm thinking something may have damaged our building. But anyway, aside from that, yeah, just everything is like closed because the weather is so bad. There's a couple places on main roads that are open and stuff, or like places where employees can like stay overnight that are open. But I mean, if you think about the whole thing with like the Waffle House radar, where there's the idea of how Waffle Houses are open 24/7, kind of rain or shine, they almost never close. A bunch of Waffle Houses in my area are closed. Or even like casinos in my area have closed and stuff. It's just kind of tough to get anywhere, and there's been so much damage to the power grid here that a bunch of stuff still doesn't have electricity. And it kind of sounds like the power grid damage here is like actually pretty serious and some stuff that's going to take a actual long time to fix, because it goes beyond just power lines being down and stuff. I mean, it sounds like there's almost whole electricity substations that have been severely damaged and stuff by this. So I might be wrong, but I kind of think that the electricity issue may persist even past the ice melting. It seems like there was a lot of damage to the electricity here. And also, I guess there's maybe supposed to be more winter weather this upcoming weekend, but I've looked at like the maps of what they're showing for that, and it actually doesn't seem like it will hit my area, or at least won't hit my area too bad. So that's good. But yeah, anyway, I actually have managed to be pretty productive over the past few days stuck inside, but I just haven't really been able to upload anything or do any streams or anything because of not having internet. So I don't know when that is going to come back on, but hopefully soon, because I do actually have some things I need to do on the internet. And aside from that, I'm not sure how the storm is maybe going to affect other stuff too. As I was saying, like, I'm not sure if the building I work in was damaged and stuff, so I'm not sure how that could affect my job and whatnot. And also, the other thing too is like, I don't know when my job will reopen or if I'll need to go anywhere else or anything. I kind of winterized my Challenger, but you know, Dodge Challenger's a rear wheel drive car, which is not great in snow and ice. But that being said, it actually is kind of like the best vehicle in my household right now for winter driving, I think, because we did have a 4-wheel drive vehicle, but my family member who owned that actually got a different car recently. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video there. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update as to what's going on with the ice storm and like in my life, just because I know this has been like not only for people who watch my channel normally, but also because there's been a lot of news reporting about this ice storm and stuff, and I just wanted to make a video about it in case anybody's curious about what it's like being actually in the midst of it. For me, it's not been too crazy. It's just mostly been being stuck inside and without internet, but I have plenty of things to keep myself entertained and a lot of stuff to work on and everything. So anyway, I will see you guys in the future, and hopefully soon enough I will be able to upload some videos and stuff. But as I said, I've actually managed to work on quite a few things that I've been meaning to work on and just didn't find the time to, because haven't had work, haven't had to go anywhere, so I've had more time. But yeah, see you on other stuff in the future, and bye-bye.